Well, the latest, of course, is that grim discovery, which has now been announced. These bodies were actually found over the weekend, but it wasn't until late last night that the FBI finally released the identities, and now we know it is the mother, 31-year-old Joanne Bain, and her eldest daughter, 14-year-old Adrienne Bain. And, of course, that leaves the whereabouts of the two other daughters, that is the 12-year-old and the 8-year-old, believed to be in the hands of Adam Mays, and of course believed to be, by all accounts of authorities, to be in extreme danger. You know, this is just a horrible story that actually began on April 27th when Joanne Baines and her daughters were reported missing by her husband. Authorities initially thought, by their early investigation, that maybe she'd run off with Adam Mays. Well, things began to change a couple of days later when they found her abandoned car at the side of a dirt road. That did not look good. Adam Mays was brought in for questioning. He then was let go. A couple of days later, they went back to talk to him again. He had vanished. That's when they went to the property, and they checked out the property of Adam Mays, and that's where they discovered the shallow grave. So this is why there is a, well, not quite nationwide, but certainly a regional-wide manhunt taking place down here in the South to try to find Adam Mays and those two young girls.
Well, you mentioned that perhaps she had run off with him, or at least initially they thought that had happened. What was the relationship between Mays and the Bain family?
Yeah, well, that's what makes this story so sad and also so very interesting, is the fact that apparently Adam Mays had a long time good relationship with his family. They were considered very, very close. He used to have the girls over at his place in Mississippi for visits. He would travel with the family when they would go to Arizona. In fact, the aunt of Joanne Bain spoke to HLN last night, and here's how she described his feelings, Adam Mays, towards those girls. Listen.
I think he told some people that all three of the girls was his. I think, you know, he was just hopefully thinking that one day they would be his family. You know, that Joanne would probably go and live with him and bring the girls and them just all be a family together.
Now, whether he was speaking figuratively or whether he was actually delusional as to those girls being his, it is clear right now two young girls are in extreme danger. We should point out that the authorities are saying that Adam Mays may be going under some alternate aliases, one of them being Christopher Zachary Wild or Paco Rodriguez. And again, there's a $50,000 reward out there for anyone who finds the whereabouts of Adam Mays or these two young girls.
I got to tell you, Martin, when you were talking about his relationship and him perhaps thinking that those were his daughters, which is what one of the neighbors said, delusional did come to mind. Are we hearing anything about him in particular, what kind of man he was? Does he have a criminal history?
Criminal history, we don't know yet. We're still digging on that. But the people who knew him, his neighbors, his landlord, all described him as a great guy. They sort of point out and say that he was almost childlike or a kid acting in an adult's body. They say he's fun-loving, he was good to people, and that if anyone had told them ahead of time that he would be accused of carrying out abduction and now murder, they never would have believed it.
And Martin, I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but I thought I read something about a reward being given out for any information.
Right. Again, the federal authorities here in the U.S. Marshal Service, that's the FBI and the U.S. Marshal Service, $50,000 for information leading to the whereabouts of Adam Mays and his arrest, and also to find these young girls. But money is not the object here, of course.
No, of course
it's
not.
finding those last two girls, bringing them safely back home.
Well, we certainly